Hello there everyone and welcome to another episode here on Settra Legendary. This is patch 6.3. So, of course, the Tomb Kings were gifted with a little bit of rework, and now they're kind of perfect. I really like how they play out. I can get the Necrotect hero to colonize ruins, but there's no ruins to colonize, so it's kind of like worthless. That's the one thing that I would like. Oh, maybe they could do something different. Maybe it could swap settlement ownership. Wink wink, like a Tzeentch character. So let's get replenishment on this. That was a failed invasion, because obviously Tzeentch has more than enough resources to deal with us. And I think I'm gonna auto-resolve. No, I won't. I'll fight the war. I'll continue the siege to... Yep, a couple more. The siege towers won't hurt. I know people don't like too much on sieges, but when you use the siege equipment, it's kind of funny. It's kind of fun. It's kind of cool. And my prospect is going to be not to lose too many units. I'm thinking on exchanging units here and just give them all the infantry. But I mean, do I? I kind of want to go just with the chariots as well. Because I'm thinking, yeah. Yeah. No. I'm not going to exchange. I want to show how the units will behave and how I would siege up. They'll always be there in reinforcements anyways if I need them. So I want to do the wrong way. I want to see how Settra handles that with these chariots and how I'll be able to do it. So 3 turns until I can get to tier 4. That's good. That means 41 turns, maybe like 45 turns. I get the tier 3, the tier 4 actually, which is nice. It's not a bad one. It could be better, you know. I could have done it slightly better, but I didn't invest in growth. I invested in income. So that means that I have a settlement that is now going to tier 4, but almost every single one settlement is on tier 3. So that's how it works. You get more money, you spend on a lot more buildings, spend a lot of more units, which doesn't happen for the Tomb Kings. And what it happens is that you level everything up, you balance everything up compared to what you would on the situation where you would actually have a lot of growth and you focus down the growth. So what can I go for? Let me go for a Cameron War Sphinx here. So I don't want Settra on a chariot that cannot attack walls, and I'm gonna put him on the instead of the Chariot of the Gods, I'm gonna put him on the Cameron War Sphinx. So let's attack with the siege towers here. There we go, and then with the battering ram on that gate. Settra is going to go on that other gate on the low ground. This is mainly just to force some units from the enemy to be there. My artillery is here, and they're going to try and shoot over the walls against anything that is in that courtyard, really. Skeleton archers, that was the good target. The skeleton spearmen as well. So anything that is over here should be easy to target with my archer units. And the more that I get them, the enemy units, and destroy them, the better. The reinforcements are going to attack on all 3 gates. I'm just going to split up some troops once they arrive, and I'll have the chariots just approaching the walls so that I can attack. And there we go. Let's watch the battle. By the way, I hadn't seen the towers in so long. They're so cool. You know, with the mummy and stuff. That looks amazing. Already targeting the skeleton archers here, the enemy skeleton archers, just to ensure that they don't cause too much trouble. I could attack the walls, but I kind of like to use the artillery to destroy the enemy infantry. Oh boy, my kid woke up at like 3 a.m. and he wouldn't shut up until 4, so yeah, that's why I'm here like this. And the enemy also has some artillery, which he's using against my chariots, which is kind of fine for me because they don't cause too much damage to them. He's also using a Casket of Souls. Same thing, not a lot of damage to do to a loose formation unit such as the chariots, so that's good. As long as I don't put them together, it should be fine. Now that we are taking the walls, my Tomb Guard are completely undistinguishable from the enemy Tomb Guard. Yeah, they're a little bit more black. I hope you can identify them, because I cannot. I just see that the enemy is facing against us and we're facing the enemy, and that's it. Whoever is on with their backs to the city must be the enemy. So overall, what we have here, my units are now going down into the other parts of the city so that I can start attacking the enemy down there. That's good. I destroyed the gates, so now my Cambrian War Sphinx is scratching his back. Okay, I had an itch. Let's go. Let's back to work. Yeah, it's back to work. Let's go, Cambrian War Sphinx. There we go. Take them out, kitty. There we go. That's fine. That's cool. Yes, they are spearmen, but they won't survive too long from a single entity like that. And my artillery is doing quite a nice damage here on the units on the low ground, so that's good as well. Let's watch my Tomb Guards fight in the shade. Not because of arrows, but just because there's shade here. And overall, I can tell you already that the siege is going to be different because the enemy lord was here. That's why the prince and the Cambrian War Sphinx are together, because the lord used to be there and now it isn't. This is the sort of variance that can happen with the siege battles, which causes a lot of problems with the siege replays. I'll have to do... I asked for feedback concerning the series. And some people like the cinematic, some people don't like the cinematic. They prefer to watch me control the units. So I'll try to do a mix and mix. Okay, I'll try to do one where I don't go over the cinematic, and I'll just play it normally. So there's a lot of fighting going on this courtyard. This actually did happen. My chariots just came in and started attacking anything, especially archer units. That was great, and it worked perfectly. So don't discount having chariots or having cavalry for sieges. Sometimes the maps are good and they have these sort of locations where you can send cavalry or monstrous infantry or anything like that fighting really well. And that's why you see these units delayed there. They are not attacking. It's because they are supposed to be attacking the lord and they cannot get to the lord actually. So Settra is trying to cause some damage, but they're already retreating. That was a poor use of it, but that's okay. Better to use that than not use it, I would say. Sometimes it's better to click that button and just go to somewhere else, just to spam a little bit of the actions. Even if you don't make it optimal, it's kind of fine. So now we're having the chariots attacking the mass infantry units of the Tomb King enemies. And yes, it's not a problem when they're routing like this, but this is not what happened. So basically, of course, I kept it running. This happened. I was attacking the enemy artillery because at one point I just moved my artillery to the front, started attacking it, and yeah, the rest did it because of course the enemy didn't send out the troops in this manner. There was the lord, which was already killed, and the battle would have been over much sooner because of that. Now, instead of complaining too much, I'm gonna let Settra take out this unit of Ushapti. The darker colors on the Ushapti look great, actually. They really look more like statues of onyx, you know, that black stone or black marble, than anything like that. It looks really cool. So I'm sending in my chariots, and I was just sending in the chariots against any target that I could, because I had like 4 or 5 of them as reinforcements and might as well just send them in. And if they catch a unit like this, if they're moving through, it's just so good. It's just a great way to completely destroy, like to half the level, like you've seen there. So the enemy lord is here, and he's actually fighting some halberds. Even though this didn't happen, it would be a good idea as well. So what I sent here was the halberds against those Ushapti who were in place. So that actually did happen. Let me just zoom in a little bit. And yeah, unit of tomb guards halberds can definitely deal with an enemy lord mounted on a Cameron War Sphinx, that's for sure. And yeah, Shabti doing nicely, but not against large anti-large entities. So that was a victory. This was the actual outcome of the battle. I didn't lose anything here, so that was quite good for a battle that was against, you know, two armies in essence. I didn't lose anything on a siege. That was great. And what else? Yep, a lot of damage on for everyone except the reinforcements. They didn't arrive in time to do enough damage. But yeah, we occupy the Black Pyramid. Province secured. We get some more Ushabti. That's great. Yeah. And we need to get it to tier 4. I could even destroy the walls and get some growth here or some income, but I'm thinking that I might as well just keep it up. Because this is a good defensible location, and the more we have, the better. So we do get the second book of Nagash, which is great because it gives the income from trade tariffs, and it gives me knowledge of a lot of factions because it reveals the map for specific stuff. So I think Clan Moors it's better for me to ally with or to do treaties with. They do seem to have a decent power rating. And they're at war with the Iron Claw. I guess that's fine. Okay, lots of treaties possible. The Jade Court, let's go. I have treaties with neutral factions and with good factions, but I'm focused more on trying to get the good factions on my side. So I'm doing more of a anti-evil campaign. Yeah, let's go with High Queen Khalida. I can always confederate her later on, because now Tomb Kings can confederate, and that's just such a difference. I'm gonna have to check how much is it and how it can happen, but I think it is kind of easy through the canopic jars actually. Yeah, I have 1,000 canopic jars. I have 10,000 gold. I could go for an army actually, for another army. Let me go with the Blessing of the Asp. No. Oh yeah, because it's go for the Cascade of Souls, and this one actually for the Cameron War Sphinx that I'll have later on. So let's go hard to hit. Let's increase mobility or boost income. I think increase mobility actually. There we go. And you just Route Marcher and passage to the Umbral. Yeah, there we go. I have to attack this Beastman army here, but for now I'm feeling that I can get some Ushabti Great Bows. Yep, that's good. Who does? Now the enemy is amassing some forces here. Tzeentch is amassing some forces, so I might as well just move this guy here to the Statues of the Gods, and 8 turns, that's because it's on poor weather, actually. I would actually add something for the Tomb Kings to use the canopic jars to reduce the level of climate in a place, or to consider it desert for like 20 turns, 30 turns, 40 turns or something like that, so that you can quickly level it up with buildings and stuff, you know? Not more for the income, but actually to reduce that effect, or maybe even the one right that gives you the Necrotect. Instead, the Necrotect could perhaps be used to do that effect, because climate is so impactful for the Tomb Kings. Maybe that would be good. I'm just checking the victory conditions here, just double checking. It's all about dominating this northern western part of the desert, so I'm gonna go south, but I'll also go to the east. Yeah, likely gonna have to fight against Khorne too, so at one point I'll believe I'll have like 6 armies, and 2 for each area would be just nice and fine. And yeah, especially after dealing with a little bit with Tzeentch. So let's declare war here. Do you have any wars? No, so I cannot ask anyone to declare war. Let me just declare war here already. And let's have Settra go in. And yeah, this should be an auto-resolve. It's pretty straightforward. That army would not cause too much damage. And I get the Chosen of the Gods. That's nice. That's actually quite nice. And I'm up to go for tier 4. That's excellent, actually. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I can choose the Scholarly Purity to avoid this. So it has only one location. Current location is 1/9. So it only has one location, which is perfect for me. So yeah, that 3% chance, it's great. If I can have it for the duration of this playthrough, it's excellent. Or if it just goes around it, it's just quite nice. And it's also to destroy those locations takes a lot of money, so it's also like a money dump for every single army. So what could I go for? More Ushabti or Tomb Scorpions? I think Tomb Scorpions. I don't have a lot of places for those. With those, I mean. And the same thing here, I guess. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Maybe I want some of these. I certainly don't want Carrion. Yeah. Certainly not. Do I want to discover plague durations? It's not really that important right now. So let's just get those buildings. And yeah. Feels nice. King Wakaf, I'm going to put him in ambush stance. Just to ensure that the enemy, if they spot me, they are going to know what type of army and how much I can defend there. So instead, I want to just ambush and force them into coming in unprepared. So sometimes ambushing before the enemy comes in is so much better for you. Okay, I feel like now finally I can go into some more stuff with Settra. I can go for more magic, for instance, with Settra, because I haven't been using. It's turned 40 and I haven't been using any spells with Settra actually. But that should be fine. I can go for Bone Edifice, or I can go for a third army, for another army. I think that would be important, because right now I'm fighting Tzeentch and I need like 2, maybe 3 armies there. And if I have a couple more armies, like 2 armies extra, like to a total of 5, then I would feel much safer. So I'm feeling that the 4th dynasty is better, and that's definitely a lord to get Ushabti with. So Wisdom of the 4th dynasty feels fine. Do I want to spend the 10 turns now, or do I want to increase something here? I think I would do the same thing. I would regret if I weren't going for the Wisdom of the 4th dynasty now. So yeah, let's go. I want another one. Yeah, it's ward save and stuff, but I still don't have bone giants. It's skeleton archers. I don't have too many on my armies. So I'm thinking that the best case scenario here is to have another army. Yeah, that feels good. That feels good. So I did get, because of the Black Pyramid, I think, and all the trade, I did get the possibility of getting a lot of nice items, including this talisman with the amulet of Fashta, or Fashta, or something like that. Faster. Faster. And yeah, I can even get that scorpion armor there. Doesn't have any ward save, which is kind of sad for an armor. Might as well just go with the armor of eternity. And in terms of enchanted items here, I know that there's one that gives regeneration. There we go. The hieratic jar, actually. Yeah, and over here I can have the collar of Shikaka. No, Shakara. If you know that reference, you're cool. Collar of Shakara, that's nice because it has a nice collar with some ward save. Armor of Eternity has the regeneration. So I think this guy, King Wakaf, is pretty cool to have that. Pretty cool. Yeah, he can have a giant blade as well. So suddenly his stats are looking much, much better. Much better. Yep. So Zinch has approached. I skipped a few turns. Zinch is now approaching us. We might be able to ambush and just auto-resolve it if he comes in. Yeah, Ragnar doesn't seem to have anything really strong. There's another army coming in, so I can just auto it and then proceed and try to attack him on his turf. In the meantime, there's an interesting development here. So Wisdom of the Fourth Dynasty is coming in nicely, 3 turns, and there's a nice development here, which is that the Bretonnians are pushing back the Wog armies of Wurzak. Still not Wog, but the armies of Wurzak, which means that if they can handle those, I might be able to snipe the faction out of existence before having any concerns. So that will be for the next episode, though. Thank you very much for watching and for the support of the campaign, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.